A Canadian inventor named Reginald Fessenden hosted the very first radio broadcast on Christmas Eve, 1906. In this historic broadcast, Fessenden played the violin, read from the Bible, and aired Christmas music. Today, over 100 years later, the possibilities of hosting are almost endless. Hello, and welcome to Podcast Your School, the series where you learn how to make your very own podcast. In today's lesson, we're diving into the secrets of being a great host, the listener's most loyal companion. Here's what we'll go over today. First, we'll go over the importance of a good host. Then, we'll talk about why sharing bits of your personality can be crucial when hosting. We'll explore techniques for narrating and why your delivery is key. We'll learn about proper breathing techniques so you can feel and sound natural during your recording. And finally, we'll learn the art of co-hosting and how important the dynamic is when you have multiple hosts. So, is hosting really that important? Before we dive into the details, let's talk about why the host is so crucial. See, the host is the listener's first and primary connection, the voice they come back to and feel connected with episode after episode. In some cases, you might even say that the host is the only recurring component that keeps the listeners coming back. Think about it. A podcast can have amazing guests, cutting-edge content, or a slick production, but if the host doesn't resonate, it's hard to form that loyal listener base. The host is the one constant, guiding the listener through the conversation and shaping the experience, like a good friend. It's not just about having a good voice, but about bringing your personality, authenticity, and energy into every single episode. So, what does it take to be a great host? How do you form that connection with your audience? Well, first of all, be you. One of the best ways to connect with your audience is by sharing bits of your personality. Authenticity is the name of the game. In recent years, more and more podcasts are driven by hosts that use their personality as an active part of the concept, not limiting themselves to the classic journalist role of staying impartial. Your audience wants to feel like they know the person behind the mic. But how much of yourself should you share? That's up to you. Ask yourself how comfortable you are sharing personal stories or opinions. The key is to be genuine. If you're passionate, let that passion shine through. If you're funny, don't hold back on the humor. As cliché as it may sound, just be yourself. And while your personality shines through, it's important to balance that with sounding natural. Let's talk about delivery. See, when you're narrating, it's not just what you say, but how you say it. You want to sound natural, like you're speaking off of intuition or with a friend, not like you're reading off a script. But even when you're working from a script, practice enough so you can deliver it smoothly. The listener should not be able to hear that it's all written down. This makes your podcast more enjoyable and authentic to listen to. Also, practice talking directly to the listener. Imagine you're speaking to one person instead of an audience. This creates a more intimate connection and helps your listeners feel like they are part of the conversation. Now, if you're narrating a more documentary-style podcast, your job is to paint a picture with your words. Use vivid language and a steady pace to draw your audience into the story. So, remember, it's not just about what you say, but how you say it. Your tone, pace, and emphasis can all bring your narrative to life, as can your breathing. Breathing seems simple. I mean, we do it all the time, right? Yes, but mastering proper breathing techniques can make a huge difference in your delivery. Let me explain just why this small detail can have a huge impact on your final recording. See, proper breathing techniques can make a world of difference in how you sound and feel while hosting. Try and start with deep belly breaths. Inhale deeply through your nose, filling your lungs from the bottom up. Then exhale slowly from your mouth. This not only helps calm your nerves, but also supports a stronger, more resonant voice. And don't forget about pausing. It's okay to take a breath before starting a new thought or a new question. This helps you pace yourself and makes your speech sound more natural and engaging. If you're breathing comfortably, you probably sound comfortable. Now, once you've got your breathing under control, let's consider what happens when you add more voices to the mix. C. What if you want your podcast to have multiple hosts? That's great. Podcasts with multiple hosts can have a great dynamic. The conversations can flow smoothly, keeping a nice environment and the audience engaged. There's just a few things to keep in mind. Let's go over them. The first thing you want to do to ensure a good dynamic is to decide on the distribution of roles beforehand. Every team has its own rhythm, so embrace what makes your dynamic unique. If one of you is more of a presenter and the other is more of an expert, make sure that's clear to your audience. This allows each host to play to their strengths. But if you're both on equal footing, like two good friends, make sure you're still balancing the conversation. No one likes a one-sided chat, so make sure all voices are heard. Also, you can plan who will take the lead during different segments. For example, one host might lead the intro and the outro, while the other drives the main discussion. This not only helps with flow, but also keeps the audience engaged by adding variety to the voices they hear. Alright, let's wrap up with some final takeaways for hosting. First, always bring your personality to the table. Don't be afraid to let your unique voice shine through. It's what makes listeners feel connected and keep coming back for more. Secondly, remember your delivery. Keep the conversation or narrative moving naturally, and imagine you're speaking to one person, not a whole audience. Thirdly, remember to breathe comfortably. If you stumble, don't stress. Just stay in the moment. Your audience appreciates authenticity. And finally, if you're more than one person hosting, ensuring a great dynamic between you can make for a wonderful conversation. And with that, you now have the tools to be a fantastic podcast host. Remember, being a great host takes time and experience, so be patient and keep experimenting. You've got this. See you in the next lesson. Bye!